Good day. We're going to discuss this session about activity-based costing and management. This is now the second part, which talks about activity-based management. You can just see on the screen as to how do we do this in activity-based management. Of course, costing is part of how we can manage properly. In fact, we can just see on this picture that we determine the cost drivers, what causes the cost to be incurred in the process view. Then we are going to assign these costs respectively. So what resources are used for the activities and the cost objects, and we have to allocate these particular costs depending on the cost drivers. Then these activities, of course, would be resulting to the performances, and then these performances are measured in order to get certain variances, which could be favorable or unfavorable to the company. Then these variances or feedback will be used for the next planning activities in order for us to be able to continuously improve the process. So there we can have the activity analysis, the cost driver, and the performance analysis. Overall, this is the so-called ABM model. Let me begin the discussions by having this particular part here about kinds of variability. So cost would be different or variable depending upon the different levels that we are going to look into. The different levels would be the unit, the batch, the sustaining, and the facility sustaining or company sustaining. As you can notice, that is from the bottom or the lowest to the top of the respective organization. So from the unit, group of units would compose the batch. Then later on, what can be done to sustain those levels, and after that would be the overall for the organization. Okay, so types of activities are continued now. We are going to define each. For the unit level activities, these are the activities performed each time a unit is produced or sold, of course. So we talk about for every unit, materials will be there. Then what composes the unit? For example, for the materials, we need also direct labor and factory overhead. So that would compose the components, the drilling, and the welding. After that, there are also batch level activities wherein the company performs when there are a group of units. As what I said a while ago, that a batch is composed of the group of units, regardless of how many units are there in the batch, of course. So it's going to be depending on what particular production that we are talking about, what particular process. There are some batches that would have more number than the others, and so on, depending on the organization, depending on the production or the products themselves that are produced. Then after that, you have the example like machine setup. So for every batch of units, they have the common in which the setup would be per machine. Okay. Whereas the sustaining activities arise because a company does particular types of business or maintains a particular product or service. So this is going to be, for example, we want our products to be positioned properly and that they can be there continuously over a good or better amount or period of time. So example of that would be advertising. So positioning of the product is important. We have to inform the public about such. Then the development of the related product. So the cost for the research and development. Of course, we have to capitalize when we have determined that technical feasibility has been established. So that's a discussion in financial accounting and reporting part 2. After that, we have the facility sustaining or company sustaining activities that would connect to the entire plant, office, or company as a whole. So this would be the cost incurred overall or company-wide. So example of that will be the rent of the corporate headquarters building. However, in terms of production, so remember we have to allocate the building, like which part of the building really is connected to the production of the goods. So only those particular costs allocated would be part of the costs of the production or the products produced. Okay, after that, A, B, C, and ethics. So the combination of the two. Oh, just recently I discussed about ethical issues for IT auditors. So this is really good thing because some costs are on the borderline. So meaning it's like really on that demarcation line, which is could be hair thick. So we are very critical here in determination as to whether a product or line is direct or indirect. That's why there is a judgment that is used. And then whenever decisions involve judgment, sometimes potential for an ethical conflict exists. That's very true. That because the top management or the managerial accountants could be faced with ethical dilemma, and then they are forced, or if not forced, they are pressured to really use judgment to be able to assign costs. Then what can happen is that what can happen is that the managerial accountants will make decisions which are not ethical anymore. So that's the point of this one. Then, oh, before going that, so what would be the key thing here that should be done? So this goes to say that whenever ethics would be there, hopefully the managerial accountants will be striking the balance as to something judgment that is, or some judgments are to be there which are also ethical in the process. So not just being able to get the desired results without thinking of the ethical impact of that. Okay. After that, activity-based management or ABM, this is where information about activities to manage many aspects of organization or an organization rather than simply managing the cost. So as what I've said, activity-based costing, which is the management of the cost and computation, of course, is just part of the broad activity-based management. So information would be used so that activities will be managed in the organization. All right, so ABM would involve the following processes. So these are discussed along the way. We have re-engineering. In the case of re-engineering, what we are actually doing here is that there is the production process, and then we are going to develop it, we are going to change it, or like evaluate it to become better. In other words, new ways to perform existing activities, hence the prefix re, which means again, so engineering again. And then this is for us to be able to really highlight the value added activities, and we stop performing non-value adding activities or ones. Next one is benchmarking, in which we are going to look into competitive competitors. Hopefully the competition is healthy in the same industry. And then we are going to look for the best practices, and then we are going to practice those in our respective companies. So we are going to incorporate the best practices shared by them. On the other hand, we also have the PVA, or the process value analysis, wherein we are going to evaluate and develop the existing processes so that we can again focus on the value added activities and we remove the non-value added ones. And then this seeks to reduce or optimize the activities performed within a process. Next, the PVA, as what has been said, that we want reduction of the non-value added ones, if not elimination, and to optimize the value added activities. So example of value added would be an operation that actually changes the physical aspects of the parts, turning, milling, and drilling. So these are very important items. Otherwise, turning, milling, and drilling. So this has to be perhaps with the furniture products. I am thinking of such about the value added ones. I am thinking that though turning, milling, and drilling could be construction related also. So these activities are very important so that the products will be finished completely. Okay, what about the non-value added? Some non-value added are there, Does not change the physical aspects of the part, just like setup time and inspecting. Those are non-value added, but they are necessary. Most especially, I would say, if inspecting is because of the quality control, then for me, that is really going to be value added later. So this has to depend like what inspecting we're talking about, right? Then non-value added, which are unnecessary, would be the waiting time, also known as the queue time. So it does not change the physical aspect of the part, and it is not necessary for value added operations to be performed. I would say though that the non-value added, that's why we said that it is reduced or it is eliminated, or it can be either because we have also the non-value activities which are necessary. So if they're necessary, we can reduce them. If we talk about unnecessary non-value added, we have to eliminate the queue time, right? Next, if we are going or we want to operate in a world-class manufacturing environment, so we have to think of the ABC or ABM. So the ABC or ABM is most beneficial for companies with a great deal of complexity and diversity in their products and operations. Most especially if we think about worldwide scale, we want the worldwide rather, or we want that we are global in our operations. So we think about the cost also. That's why we have heard some companies where in the labor, the raw materials are bought in other countries. The finishing will be done perhaps in the same country or in the home country. And then if done in another country, will be shipped to the home country so that costs will be minimized. And the labor is cheaper in other countries. So that thing, because we also think in ABC about great deal of complexity and diversity in the operations and products themselves. So there are many considerations in ABC and ABM. If you can notice, they are actually used interchangeably in the discussions. However, we have to take note that ABC is a component of ABM. Okay. Here is an example of the analysis and income reporting for ABC or ABM of Patterson Homewares Incorporated, and this is for 20x4 in thousands. So we can just see here from the sales down to income. So this is really the income statement reporting, and we can see how the costs are being reported. So they are actually reported based on the ABC style, in which we have the unit level, the batch level, the product sustaining. Yeah, so the sustaining a while ago is product sustaining then, and the facility sustaining, right? So allow me to go back to that. There. Okay, so you have unit level. So this could be product sustaining, right? Product sustaining, just to change that. And this one, product sustaining. Okay, so I'm editing the work of Louderback. All right, so in this case, you have here the income statement reporting. We're almost at the end. This is the last part. So ABC or ABM would show to us the different levels, the variabilities as discussed a while ago, and then producing the income. And this is also like showing to us the variable costs of unit level and batch level, thereby producing the contribution margin. Whereas the product and the sustaining could be both fixed and variable, and also the unit level and batch level variables are mixed there. So that's why it would result later on to income. So overall, the income would be the same. This is like variable costing income statement. However, the focus now is more on the different levels. So this is used internally, of course, for management. This is not presented for external reporting purposes like the financial statements to SEC. No, we wouldn't see such presentation. This will be surely returned by SEC to us. So abort. In other words, this is just for internal usage so that the management can properly check and see the respective unit level and so on. So we can just notice here, just to point out that with increasing sales, we can notice that the unit level variable costs are also increasing as well as the batch level. The product sustaining would be also increasing in some situations, but it's really different. Like this one, it's 89.2, it decreased, then increased and increased. So meaning this, I would say, would be combination of fixed and variable. While the facility, it's overall, so it's fixed, right? Okay, so in that case, hopefully you learned something in the discussions that I've said, and see you, of course, in another discussion or sessions for managerial accounting or management accounting. Bye for now.